So in tonight's analysis, we're going to be preparing to finish the week very, very strong within the green. I'm going to be explaining to you step by step how to trade the best setups at the best prices. In terms of the trades that we ended up making today inside of Team Roar, we ended up going 4 for 5 on the day. Got to give a big shout out to G-Roar for calling out a 1000% profit return. We literally set the profit stops when we were up over 900% plus. We made a 1000% return on SPX puts within the span of 10 minutes during the power hour trading session. 4 wins on the day, 1 small loss. I'm going to be breaking down all the trades that we ended up making on the overall day towards the end of this video. First things first, let's get straight into how to trade the best setups at the best prices. So, in terms of the overall SPY, there's going to be opportunities to be trading both ways heading into tomorrow. I'm going to explain to you the key levels of interest in the game plan for puts and the key levels of interest in the game plan for calls. So for puts, we're going to be focused on overbought levels towards breakdown and retest levels and towards previous day highs. So in terms of the overall range that I'm going to be watching for puts, it's going to be the following. I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on this key breakdown and retest level that has not been tested during the normal trading hours session. It's going to be right around here towards this overall zone of 626.40 to 626.10. Also want you to keep an eye on this higher level of this lower level of 625.50. These are 3 levels that I'm going to be watching. It's going to be an overall zone. Also want you to focus on the previous day highs. So if you're seeing the SPY react bearish, form red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmations, form resistance, like right here, it's forming, resistance, resistance, resistance. It's just sitting towards this breakdown retest level. If you're seeing a bearish overall reaction happen during the normal trading hours or even during the pre-market, one thing I like to note is one of these opportunities that I'm explaining to you is likely going to unfold heading into the pre-market tomorrow. But keep an eye on these overall levels and this overall, wider zone for puts. If you're seeing red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmations, if you're seeing bearish patterns, one thing you can do, you can literally just go back throughout the 10-day 30-minute chart and you can study how SPY looked, how it appeared on the 30-minute chart when it started to top. When it started to have a reversal, what did the red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmations look like? What did the trend reversal patterns look like, right? You can literally just go back and study how SPY looked every single time it crashed. And if you're seeing the market, mirroring back a similar pattern, a similar reflection too, then you can trade based off of that. And it's likely going to work out the vast majority of the time if you're using it at these levels. So I want you to keep an eye on that overall zone for puts. Based off of what I'm seeing, there could be an opportunity towards that upper zone towards 626 for puts to 627, right around that overall range. Now, in terms of calls and in terms of the strategy of that, that's going to be the breakdown retest. We had support right here. We had the crack. We had the retest, but the retest happened during extended hours. So once it's happened during normal trading hours, it's a good chance it's going to try to top right around 626, right around this breakdown retest, or previous day highs. Right, so keep an eye on that. That's the breakdown retest strategy to be tested during normal trading hours. It already worked and played out during extended hours here, and we're already gapping down. So it's also going to be a gap close reversal if the SPY opens up with a gap down, where there's going to be a gap to fill at 625.82. So once it fills that gap, it's going to try to have a reversal. If you've been following along with the channel, you're well aware that the gap close reversal trading strategy that we use every single time the SPY closes the gap, we look for opportunities for confirmations that it's going to have a reversal at the gap. If you've been studying the overall channel, if you've been trading the overall SPY, you're well aware throughout the past 30 days, it's been reversing literally every single time it closes a gap. It has a short-term reversal for a phenomenal day trading opportunity, right? So keep your eyes on that. If we open up with a gap down, keep your eyes on 625.82 to previous day highs around that range for a gap close reversal, for a bearish trend reversal, for a breakdown retest, for a top at or slightly above previous day highs, right? Now, in terms of calls, I'm really only interested in calls at oversold levels. So in terms of what I would consider the oversold levels heading into tomorrow, it's looking fairly like a range day. It's looking fairly like a range day. We're gonna stay around the overall same range that we traded into today. Is going to be lucrative. There's going to be some volatile moves to be trading both ways, but it's looking like an overall range day. So in terms of the levels for calls, this is what I want to bring awareness to, right? We have a lot of key support right here. It's already bounced during this extended hour support. So this used to be resistance at 622.70. And if you watched last night's game plan, this was the higher level that I told you to keep an eye on. This level right here, this breakout and retest at 622.50. We had a strong move to the upside. SPY dropped back down to retest, and I told you, this isn't the best level for calls, but if the SPY keeps holding this level, starts to break out, form higher support like it was doing, it's going to have a very strong bullish overall move, and that's what ended up happening in that situation. It had the breakout, then it had the retest, very strong floor, and then the reversal right here for the break and retest, bullish reversal, no longer forming lower highs like it did right here, had the break, had the retest instead on top of that resistance, right? Then it started to push higher, and then the green, red, green bullish pattern, right? And then more green bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations. Absolutely no reasons for puts. Fairly predictable day for call options. If you use last night's game plan and you listened closely to that 622 mid 50 level, for last night's game plan, that was a phenomenal opportunity to be going long because there was a green, red, green, higher floor, break, retest, followed up with more green bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations, right? If you watched last night's game plan, that was a clear opportunity to be buying calls. There was just so much confirmation, so much consolidation, so much breakouts, so much retest, higher breakouts, higher retest, green, red, green, more bullish green, candlestick, 30-minute candlestick confirmations, right? Fairly predictable opportunity to be buying calls, even though it wasn't at the best level to be buying calls. Now, with that being said, this is the level. I want you to focus on this 600. It's going to be a zone. Previous day lows, 623, and then that same overall level, 622.30. That's going to be the zone. We'll say like 622.30 to 622.50, right around that 622.30 to 623 mid, 623 mid, 50, 70, right around that mid zone. Even keep an eye on 624. But this overall zone, basically where these three levels are, this level right here, this level right here, this level right here, keep an eye on that zone. Based off of what I'm seeing on the daily chart, it's going to be an overall range type of day, and there should be an opportunity, especially for calls. One of the best plays that I'm seeing, in terms of the most likely outcomes that I'm seeing, heading into the pre-market tomorrow, if we're back towards resistance, it could be a phenomenal opportunity to go short in the pre-market, especially for those of you who are trading futures during, extended hours trading sessions. But look to potentially go short in the pre-market. We could potentially drop around this range if we're spiking back towards that, or even during normal trading hours, like I said. But one of the best plays, for the morning can be puts if we're towards major resistance, calls if we're towards major support. Basically, what I'm telling you is the most likely outcome for this pre-market to market open play is an overbought reversal or an oversold reversal. So if we're towards oversold levels, focus on going long in the morning pre-market to market open. If we're towards the overbought levels, focus on going short. That is going to be the most likely outcome for the pre-market trading session, right? So the oversold zone for calls is going to be 622.30, 623, 623 mid, right around there. That's the oversold zone for calls, right? Now, just to give you some more levels, if we do hit these levels, these are going to be phenomenal levels for calls as well. So below 622, another great level for calls is going to be right here, 621. 621, 620.36. We got a gap to fill at 620.36 for a gap close reversal, and then right here at 619.50. Based off of the most likely outcome is an overall range day where we stay around the range of previous day highs to previous day lows, and you focus on calls towards the previous day lows, and you focus on puts towards the previous day highs. That's the most likely outcome, right? And if we do go a little bit lower, I would be extremely interested in still remaining to buy calls and sway away from the puts. If we went to 621 to 620.30, that'd be the next zone where I want to be buying calls. Another phenomenal level for calls is 619.50. Another phenomenal level for calls is 618, right? So that's the overall game plan. Now, I do want to discuss a slight break of trend. If we're breaking above 627, forming higher support, SPY's going to try to push to 629, 630. In this situation, what I would look for is, and I would only look to do this if we had a strong breakout, at least 2 points. If we went to like 629, I would keep your eyes on a dip buying opportunity at a higher level. And this would be the higher level right here. If we have a 2 point plus breakout above all-time highs, I would keep your eyes on 625.80, right around this 625.50 zone to be dip buying calls on the overall SPY. So if there's a break of trend, what would likely happen is, if there was a break of trend, if SPY pushed above the previous, all-time highs here, what would likely happen is not the most craziest upside move, more of a smaller move, and then we drop back down and then we bounce towards 625.50. That's the most likely outcome if it pushes like 2 points above, all-time highs. It's going to try to drop back down likely and then bounce towards that 625.80. And like I said, if we are going below previous day lows, I would still be interested in just waiting for confirmations for calls at lower levels. So that's the overall game plan. I explained to you the overall break of trends, and inside the break of trends, there is a slight sign of a break of trend. If it starts to push above all-time highs, it's going to likely drop and then flip back bullish at higher levels. If we start to go below, previous day lows, is going to drop and likely reverse at lower levels. Based off of what I'm seeing, it's going to try to maintain within the range. And if we do push above those new all-time highs, I would just wait for a break and retest opportunity towards mid 625 to buy calls. And if we do push below previous day lows, I would just wait for a dip buy an opportunity towards the next overall zone, which would be 621 to 620. So that's the overall game plan. If you use this game plan, you should be green heading into tomorrow. It should be a fairly simple, more easier, trading day overall. In terms of this week, Tuesday was the toughest day. For those of you who traded every single day this week, especially if you've been using the game plans, you should be green every single day. And I didn't release a game plan on Tuesday. If you traded on Tuesday, it was a very difficult day to be trading, especially with our type of style of trading with far out money options, aiming for the bigger wins. Extremely difficult. But in terms of this overall week, it's been fairly simple and fairly predictable, especially for trading at all-time highs. Trading at all-time highs is not an easy task to be doing within the market. It's not an easy type of trading style when we're trading at all-time highs. But in terms of this overall week, it's been fairly simple. It's been fairly predictable. It's been extremely lucrative. The only difficult day was Tuesday. But even if you were red on Tuesday, I would say it's extremely irrelevant, because we've had multiple days where we had 1,000% gainers. Losing is a personal choice. So everyone should be green. We're going to finish this week very, very strong within the green. If you'd like to trade alongside us, it's the first link down below within the description. In terms of what we ended up doing today, this was the main trade. 6280 SPX puts for 80 cents a contract at 3:48 p.m. This is the power hour trading session. During the power hour trading session, trading with us for literally just 10, 15, 20 minutes, you can literally make 1,000% gains. Every single week during power hour, we have trades where we make 1,000%. That means they don't just go up 1,000%. That means when they're up 1,000%, we're in at fucking 80 cents, 500, holding, 600, 720, up 1,000 fucking percent, set profit stops. We set that profit stop where profit stopped out, literally at that mid 700 mark. This trade went all the way to 760 plus. So that's 1,000% gain you could have had within the span from fucking 3:48 p.m. to 3:52 p.m. This is why we tell you to have your option chains open and ready. This is why we tell you to use the right brokers to trade far the money zero-dated options. This is why we tell you to use market orders. This is why we tell you to use a stream deck, to use hotkeys. You need to get executed in these trades at the speed of fucking light, because within 4 single minutes, 3:48 p.m., 3:49 p.m., 1 minute, 80 to 90. You had 1 minute to get in this trade with a 10-cent fluctuation. 3 minutes fucking later, get fucking ready, in the fucking money, up 1,000 fucking percent. Who do you know is printing these kind of returns, doing this on a regular basis? This week combined, you take all of our trades, the wins, the losses, we are up net positive of over 2,500 fucking percent for the fucking week. And we added to many of the winners, which doubles to triples the gains. Losing is a personal fucking choice. With that being said, this was the best trade of the day. 6280 puts. It was the best trade of the week so far. The reason why I say so far is Fridays tend to be our absolute best trading days. So if you're serious about making money, this is literally the best time to be joining. And I already explained to you, the market is setting up for another fairly predictable, lucrative trading opportunity. So this is where we got in. 3:48 p.m. As you can see, this big fucking volume spike right fucking here, The volume's literally at 2,000. That's us. That's our fucking team buying fucking puts on SP fucking X. If you're not trading SP fucking X, you're not fucking within the fucking market. It's the best symbol to be trading during the power hour when zero dates are getting ready to expire, cheap, worthless. What we do is we buy them extremely far out of the money, and when it works, we sell them deep in the money. And we have the highest win rate in the game doing this. Not that we need that, because doing this type of trading style, you're going to see the win rate does not matter. We just had a 1,000% return on SPX. That means since we got in on this trade at 80 and basically sold it at 800, 1,000% plus, that means for the next 9 fucking days, we can have one SPX trade each fucking day. It could be a 100% loser. We can get in at 80, 100% loser for the next 9 fucking days. Out of those 10 days, 1 green day, 9 red days, we're still up 100 fucking percent plus. And you guys are well aware that our win rate is the highest in the fucking game. So it's unlimited fucking winning. It's unlimited fucking printing at the speed of fucking light. Losing is a personal fucking choice. Who do you know within the span of 4 fucking minutes, especially for traders who do not hold their fucking trades for long periods of time, they scalp, they get in and fucking out for quick small gains. Why the fuck aren't they doing this? Why aren't they buying SPX puts right fucking here and 4 minutes fucking later setting profit stops when they go from 80 to 800? Do you see this chart? This doesn't look massive. It doesn't look like a massive fucking move. But if you look at the numbers don't fucking lie. This is from fucking 80 to fucking 800. Why the fuck aren't these scalpers who don't hold for big fucking wins, why aren't they making big fucking wins? Do you know how difficult and hard it is to fucking achieve this? This takes over a decade of fucking experience within the market. We are literally giving you the opportunity to take full advantage of the best trading alert system within the fucking market. These are the best trades within the market. You're not going to find better trades than this. We literally set the profit stop right fucking here at 3:52 p.m. 3:52 p.m., set the fucking profit stop. As you can see at 3:52 p.m., right fucking here, it went to 800. You would have been profit stopped out in the 7 fucking hundreds for a 900% plus return. Losing is a personal fucking choice. If you're making a 1,000% return, you get to define on what that means to you within your trading. If you make a 1,000% gain, how big of enough gain is that for that to last if you go on a losing streak or if you have some losses? Is that 1 day's gain? Is that 1 week's gain? Realistically, it should be 1 to 2 weeks worth of overall, losses in a situation. You should be able to maintain a 1,000% return no matter what the fuck you do with proper risk management, especially if you have a middle to large account, with at least 1 to 2 weeks worth of progress. So basically what I'm telling you is this 1 day alone, you should be net fucking positive no matter what the fuck you do for the next 1 to 2 fucking weeks, right? If you make a 1,000% return and you give it all back the next couple days, you're not fucking trading. You're being a complete degenerate with no fucking risk management, with no fucking map, with no fucking game plan. If you're having days where you're making a 1,000% fucking gain, you should be able to maintain that no matter fucking what you do for at least 1 to 2 weeks. It should be able to hold you for 1 to 2 weeks. And that's something that you have to be able to understand and define within this market. What can hold you? If you have a day where you made a 1,000%, how long can that hold you for? How long can that hold you for within the market before you give it back? If you ran into some losses, if you had a losing streak, if you sized them too big on a trade, how long can that hold you? And that's something that you get to define. And in terms of like what I said, it should be 1 to 2 fucking weeks at the bare fucking minimum. This is the 3rd day in a row this fucking week where we literally had 1,000% plus days. So with that being said, losing remains a personal fucking choice. In terms of this overall week, it's net positive over 2,500% fucking plus. We're gonna fucking crush it. We're gonna fucking crush it tomorrow. In terms of the other trades that were made, 5290 SPX calls at 95 cents. This was at 3:37 p.m. Add, double the position size to double the gains. Added at 85 cents. Averaged the cost down barely. It barely dropped, and then it went to 145. So 85, 95. 90 average to 145, you're looking at a 50% profit return on SP fucking X calls, right? So you have 1,000% gainer right here, and then you have a 50% gainer right here. Losing is a personal fucking choice. As you can see, the win rate does not matter. It's nothing but a fucking illusion. We're already up 1,050% on 2 fucking trades during power fucking hour, man. That's why I'm saying, man, for those of you who don't hold your trades fucking long, All you have to do is learn how to trade far the money 0-to-8 options during the power hour trading session. You can make 500 to 1,000% returns every single fucking week within the span of fucking minutes trading SP fucking X. You know, that's why I would genuinely question anyone's strategy or system if they don't hold their wins for long periods of time and they set stop loss. Why the fuck don't they just buy SPX, hold it for a couple minutes, and make multiple 100% profit returns? It's cheap, it's low risk, it's the biggest percentage gains. You can buy one fucking contract at 80 and sell it at 8 fucking hundred, rinse and fucking repeat. So, with that being said, trade before that was on 627 SPY calls at 1:35 p.m. As you can see, 627 SPY calls at 25 cents a contract, 26 cents, adding, tripling the fucking position size, went to mid 40 cents a contract, right? So, 25 cents to fucking mid 40, you're looking at nearly 70% plus on that. So that's another phenomenal fucking win, triple the fucking position size. Who do you know is winning this fucking much? And then in terms of the trade before that, 622 SPY puts for 49 cents. And in terms of this one, 622 SPY puts for 49 cents a contract. This one went to 66 cents. So 49 cents to 66 cents. Everybody knows when we're up 10% plus, we set profit stops. Trade before that, 621 SPY puts for 32 cents. That one went to about 38 cents, right? So in terms of our real-time 0-to-8 options trading alert system, what we do is when we're up 10% plus, we set profit stops. And we move the profit stops up higher to ensure that we don't give back the profits. If the market has a big move against our trade, we get profit stopped out where we move our profit stop to, not where we originally set it at, right? So you can continue to move it up as the trade works in your favor. And we don't use stop losses. What we do is we put in our max risk per trade into the contracts. So the most we can lose is what we put in. The most we put in is our max risk per trade. Obviously, when we're adding to the winners, we're putting in more than our max risk per trade. But the way we protect that extra risk is by setting profit stops. If you add to a winner and set a profit stop, it's going to be impossible for you to go green to red. You get profit stopped out. That's why we quickly add to winners when we're up 5 to 20%, but also because we tend to win big, right? So that's the main part of the system. No stop losses. When we're down 50% on a play, we call that a dead play. And 7 out of 10 times when we're down 50% on a play, it comes back to life and it goes green because we're trading the overall trend. When you trade the trend and when you go far out of the money, but not far enough to where it's not going to go in the money because it's within the overall range, but still cheap and low risk, then that means the contracts eventually come back to life within the favor of the trend, which is us because we're trading the fucking trend, right? So losing remains a personal choice. If you're serious about making money, non-fucking stop, it's the first link down below. Within the description, you gain access to a real-time 0-to-8 options trade alert system. You gain access to an updated game plan, where to go short, where to go long in the pre-market levels. And you can plug this into your Thinkorswim charts. You gain access to Risk Management 101. You gain access to real-time 0-to-8 options trade alert system with Risk Management 101. You gain access to where we enter, where we add, real-time market analysis, explaining the overall system, strategy, what is that we're looking at within the overall market, news updates, everything, man. You literally gain access to every fucking thing. Decades of experience within the fucking market. Losing remains a personal fucking choice. If you are serious about making money at the speed of fucking light, is the first link down below within the description, man. Look, it's 400% profit return. Where are you going to find these returns? SPX puts 400% return. 400% return. So remember in here, literally just made what it cost 6 months to stay here, half a year, just like that, on two contracts, 110 cents a contract, selling at 530 cents a contract, $840 profit. $840 profit, you can stay here for the next 6 months. There is no coupon code. You join the group. Within the first trade, every trade we fucking make, if you're just buying one fucking contract, especially during market open, or especially during the power hour, best time to trade, 3:34 p.m. on SPX, one contract, you buy one contract, it makes back the cost of the monthly subscription. And as you can see, we have trades where you buy one fucking contract, 110 to 500, right? One contract literally makes back 4 months, 5 months, sometimes a fucking year. We've seen people buy SPX contracts for 100 inside of our group. They sell for 1,200 to 1,800. We've seen it happen many, many times. $3,000 profit. A $3,000 profit on the day, man. Our group is fucking killing it. $4,900 profit, 29% return. Today's profit, $1,700 profit. Extra $1,000 in a fucking second. In a fucking second. That is something that a coupon code will never do for you. It will never make you a $1,000 profit in 90 fucking seconds. Losing remains a personal choice. We give you the opportunity to utilize our game plans and our curriculum within the market for you to become self-sufficient and for you to make money before you even join the group, for you to test your skills within the market and become self-sufficient, for you to test the curriculum, for you to test the overall levels. You should be improving just by using these game plans alone. If you are serious about gaining access to the best trades within the market, the best real-time zero-day options trailer system within the market, and you want to finish this week, close it out very, very strong within the green, ends it on a high note, is the first link down below within the description. In terms of tomorrow, just this is what I want you to keep an eye on as well for a shift. If there's a shift and breakup trend, just keep an eye on that mid 625 level. If we have a strong break above previous day highs, drop back down. Look for an opportunity for calls towards the mid 625. Just something I want to bring awareness to. I know I already said that, but I'm already envisioning and imagining this idea because I've seen this play out before. We have over a decade of experience trading within the market. I've been trading SPY for many years, and I'm already visualizing this pattern. That's why I keep mentioning again, because I'm so fucking ready and fucking excited to be fucking trading this tomorrow. So, if you'd like to join us, it's the first link down below within the description. We are going to absolutely crush it tomorrow. We trade SPY and SPX towards 3:30 p.m. when it's cheap and low risk. And on Fridays, you might see us trading stocks. Sometimes on Fridays we trade stocks because a lot of the stocks on our radar, they have zero dates on Fridays. And that's what we do. We trade zero dates. SPX and SPY have zero dates every single day. And a lot of stocks that we're watching are going to have zero dates tomorrow. So I'm going to be keeping an eye to see if there's any rare, big setups with news or momentum. Because I'm telling you, on stocks, the zero date option plays are fucking crazy on fucking Friday. And, in terms of trading educational pattern setups, that's when it feels the most rewarding, when it's something extremely rare, when there's like a rare news play, a massive gap up or massive gap down, or there's just a lot of momentum on a very rare key level, key setup, and it's a stock, because on stocks, we really tend to wait when there's zero dates on Friday or when they're one day on Thursday, when they're cheaper and low risk. It's very, very exciting and rewarding, when you have an educational system that works, and then you get to pair that with a stock that's cheap and low risk on Thursday or Friday, right? So always looking forward to that. That's when I mainly look to pull out my scanner. In terms of scanners, we really don't need scanners because we're watching the same tickers every single fucking day. But if we want to trade cheap, lower risk contracts on like Thursday and Friday on stocks, that's when you're going to need a scanner, especially on like rare news plays or big momentum and volatility coming in. That's when a standard is useful for us on Thursdays and Fridays. So that's when I really look to use my scanner for overall stocks. But for those of you who are serious about trading alongside us, it's the first link down below. Within the description, you gain access to our real-time zero-day options trailer system. You gain access to our community, our group. You gain access to a network of multimillionaires. You're going to see, witness, experience real-time analysis, real-time trades within the market alongside multimillionaires who have over a decade of experience within the market. If you're serious about making money and trading alongside us, is the first link down below within the description.